You're listening to Mid-Morning Matters on MarlowFM 97.5.
My next guest is Rob Utley. Rob, good morning.
Good morning, Chris.
Rob, is it your first time at MarlowFM?
It is my first time at MarlowFM, yes. I've been on a few radio shows before, so hopefully I'll behave myself.
I hope so too. So you're obviously very experienced in fitness. Your job, I think, is you're the fitness manager at the Loudwater location of Anytime Fitness. Is that right?
Yes, I am. So I have a dual role. So I train people and I run the gym on the health and fitness side. So what we're trying to do is to create an environment unlike most... an environment whereby people can flourish in a gym setting. So we're focused very much on the service we provide to people, giving people inductions and doing things. A lot of the things have been lost along the way in the 24-hour gym industry, and we're trying to rectify that along with giving a 24-hour environment.
That sounds perfect. But you yourself have been in fitness for a long time, I guess.
I have. I've been involved in fitness myself on a personal level for... Wow, God, that's taking it back. Probably about 12 years, maybe a bit longer than that, ever since I was what you would call an overweight teenager. And I was in a quest for abs, which I didn't get for many years because of a lot of the things we'll talk about today.
Right, but eventually they appeared.
Oh, they appeared. I was relentless in my battle for it and my quest for knowledge, and therefore... my body gave out and let it win. But that being said, abs isn't for everyone. That isn't the end goal for most people. It was a goal for me. I thought it was an end goal. Turned out it wasn't. It was just the start. But yeah, everybody has their purpose and their reason for wanting to get fit and healthy, whether it be health, whether it be the aesthetics of it. So yeah. And
for you, it was getting rid of the overweight teenager.
Mine was the psychological element of it, which a lot of people hopefully can connect to today, is about feeling good in yourself, feeling like you can go on the beach and be topless. It wasn't about having abs, it was about the confidence. Yeah. It was about feeling good about yourself, which you all know about Chris, because Chris has got a mean set of abs as well.
Thank you. Well, it's not too bad for a 63-year-old, perhaps, I don't know.
Exactly, making everyone look bad, making me look bad. They're better than mine now.
I doubt that very much. But you've done the job of managing to convert your hobby into your livelihood, haven't you? Because you obviously got into fitness first because you wanted to do it, and now you've managed to make fitness into something that actually pays for you.
Well, yeah, but the irony is I didn't really want to do it, to be fair. As a kid, you always look at the superheroes, and I should imagine most men look at the superheroes, and most men look at the figurines that are out there, for example, the Barbies and things like that, and you're pressurized to want to feel like that, and that turns into your aim. So I turned that into my aim, but in the end, that wasn't what I wanted to do. I just wanted to feel better. So it did turn into a hobby. I started to enjoy it. But if you don't enjoy it and you go to the gym and you find that you don't really feel like it's for you, just persist at it. I didn't feel like it was for me. I didn't feel like I belonged there. I didn't feel like I was part of that cycle for many, many years. And then you just progress and you develop and you get better.
Right. And I am very envious that you've managed to convert your passion into your livelihood. Well, so have I, but I don't make much money from it. You make a lot more, I hope, anyway.
Yeah, well, it's nice. It's nice converting a passion into your job, because then you can convey that over and you can turn it into something special you enjoy, and it comes out in your results.
Absolutely. Why should people go to the gym, in your opinion? Because maybe I do a lot of running or do a lot of cycling. Should I think about going to the gym on top of that? And once we've covered that question, perhaps we can look at why should you choose, or what should you look for in a gym to choose?
It's a really good question, because the main aim of the game is for everybody to find what is comfortable with them. Obviously, I'm going to say join a gym, because that's where my passion lies.
Yeah.
But what you really have to think about is, what do you have to lose from going and trying out a gym? But that leads us really onto our next point of what to look for in a gym. So I'm quite passionate about what I do and what we develop as a gym. We have a very strong leadership team, so I'm reportable to the owner, who has quite a strong vision, which just so happens to marry up to my own. And we have a really good, strong team around us. Like, the sales team really do care about what they do, the service we provide, the aftercare. So when you're joining a gym, those are the things to look out for. When you walk in, make sure that you feel like they care about you. They care about your goals. They care about what you want to achieve, and they want to work with you. They want to support you in those goals. And that's the thing. That's the main thing to look for, because a lot of people, one of the reasons people leave the gym is because they're not achieving things. And if things aren't set out for you to achieve, then you're not going to achieve them. If your main goal might be to run a marathon, but at the moment you're struggling to jog 100 meters. So what you want to do is you want to have someone sit down with you and go, right, let's go 400 meters. Let's set a path in place for you to achieve your goals. And that's the best way to do it. And you have to walk into an environment where you feel like that can happen.
So do you help your new clients and new members to the gym, do you help them set goals, and perhaps both long-term goals and intermediate step goals as well?
That's one of the big things that we do, and one of the things that we've really pushed on in the past few years is when people join up with us, we want to set goals with them. We want to understand what they want to achieve. We want to help them achieve it in any way possible, because not only does it mean that they stay at the gym, but it means that when they're out in public, they don't go around and say, oh, I'll go to the gym. They go around and go, oh my God, I'm at the gym and I've done this. And it completely changes everyone's view and perception of the fitness industry. Not just our gym, but everyone's attitude to health, fitness, and everything around it.
Right. How important is it that people have what I think is known in business as SMART goals, that are specific and can be measured and can have realistic timescales and are time framed? Or can people just say, oh, I just want to lose weight, oh, I just want to put some muscle on? Or people have to say, oh, I want to weigh this much, I want to run 100 metres in this time. So do there need to be specific goals, or can they just be more general?
Specific goals are brilliant. That is a stepping stone. So the best thing to have is a vision and a dream. So I was taught a few years ago, a friend of mine came to me who was a mentor, and he turned around and said, I told him my dreams, and they were financial dreams, and he didn't laugh. He said, keep going. And once my dream got big enough that he laughed and it was basically impossible, he said, right, you're dreaming big enough. So what you want is you want a dream. You can dream as big as you want, because no matter what, if you aim for that dream, even if you never make it there, you're going to excel past anything that you could ever imagine. But to get there, you need to have small goals. You need to be achieving things. You don't have to be perfect. I'm not perfect. I have a massive cheat meal every single week. But that's 1 out of 40 meals I have during the week, so I have lots of small ones, whereby if you just improve slightly each week, you do 10 minutes more walking, you do 1 session in the gym, but last week you were doing none. You're getting better, you're improving, and that is the whole aim of the game. As long as you're improving, as long as you're getting better, as long as you're functioning better, and you know what? Every single person on this planet has the same dream. It's to be happy. And fitness can help you get happy. If you can breathe better, that's happier. If you can run around with your kids better, that's happier. If you look better, you get happier. All of these things come down to happiness. And without it sounding a bit cliched and a bit like, oh, look, listen to this, he's preaching the fitness lifestyle. I don't live the biggest fitness lifestyle, but I live to try to be happy.
That's a great way of living it. I mean, I have to say that I didn't discover fitness myself until I was 50 years old, as you know. So I'm a fairly recent convert to fitness. But between 50 and 55, I made myself from an obese middle-aged guy to a much fitter older guy, because I'm getting 55 and now I'm over 60. But it's something that's changed my life totally. And do you find with your clients, both at the gym and with your role as a personal trainer, do you find your clients suddenly get to that magic moment where it changes their life and they really start wanting to do it rather than having to do it?
Yeah, so the first point I would come to is probably the fact that you said that you'd recently come into fitness and said when you were 50 and now you're 63. There's 13 years, that's not very recent.
No, that's true.
A seasoned veteran.
No percentage of my life then.
But yeah, exactly. So, no, everyone comes and everyone walks through a gym door wanting to improve. Yeah. Even if people aren't ready to sign up yet. And I think that everybody, when you walk in a gym, people should make you feel like you belong there. People should make you feel like you can achieve the things that you want to achieve when you walk through there. And if you don't feel like that, move on to another one. Find a place that makes you feel like that. It doesn't have to have the best equipment in the world. It doesn't have to be singing and dancing. It doesn't. I have been to bodybuilding gyms where everything's sweat and sawdust. I've been to like hyper new gyms which have got everything that I don't know what it does. And you know what? The most important thing around you is the people. If people smile at you, people acknowledge you, and they actually take an interest in you, that is all you need. You're having a bad day, you're alone, you're isolated, whatever your circumstances are, you want to walk into a place and you see a happy face that smiles and says good morning.
Right.
That is the biggest thing. I think everyone focuses so much on the physical element of everything, when in reality it's the psychological element. You just want to feel happier.
Yeah, gyms aren't just for making your body better, they're for making your mind better as well, aren't they?
We live in a world where one of the biggest catchphrases is headspace.
Yeah.
If you want your headspace, you go to a place, you turn your phone off for an hour, and you know what? You don't even have to be doing everything properly. You don't have to be productive. But that 1 hour can make you more productive in every element of your life. You de-stress, you can focus on work, you can focus on life better, and that's all you really need.
Yeah. So you're saying in terms of choosing a gym, it's a combination of things. That's the vibe, it's the feeling you get when you get there, it's the welcome you get, whether the people there seem to be interested in you or not. But obviously you've got to combine other things like practicalities, like when they're open and whether there's parking and things like that.
Yeah, so it's a lot like that. It depends on what your lifestyle you're looking for. If you're looking for a swimming pool, then Anytime Fitness Loudwater is probably not the one for you. But what we try to promote is we're providing a better service. We're providing more of a boutique service at an affordable price, but we still have that 24-hour element. And for most people, you've got shift workers, you've got people who can't get in during the day, and they just want a 24-hour element. They just want an ability to go and train, full stop, because they can't anywhere else. But then you've got other people. We've got a class that's specifically for the over 50s that focuses on building bone density, muscle structure, and making people healthy. It's one of our busiest classes now, and we're just trying to move on to a new element whereby we can cater for every target audience.
Right.
And everyone should feel exactly the same when they walk in.
Brilliant. Tell me more about the 24 hours aspect, because when I started training out, there was no such thing, I don't think, as 24-hour gyms, and now there are several just in South Bucks alone. So tell me, how does that actually work? Are you there 24 hours a day? Even you must have some time off sometimes.
Barely. So the way a 24-hour gym works is it's securely locked up and you use a key fob to unlock it. So staffed hours are usually, so we're staffed quite highly. So not a lot of 24-hour gyms are staffed as highly as us. We're staffed on a Monday to Friday, usually from about 9 a.m. until 8:30 p.m. Then we're staffed on a Saturday. We're not on a Sunday, but we still have classes. There's still instructors around. You'll still find me training there and things like that. But we're also monitored by a CCTV system that has a security company. There's emergency phones, there's emergency lanyards, there's things like that. Every single inch of the gym is covered in CCTV.
So do you have a sort of a push button that if somebody needs some help at 3 a.m, they can push a button and instantly somebody can see them on CCTV and communicate with them?
Exactly, yes. And the security company also, if something changes within a certain place, within the gym, a CCTV will be alerted by a difference in that place. So they can call up and they will speak over the tannoy. If someone needs help, they just send the help. So it's like you have got a virtual member of staff there at all times. So touch wood, I don't want to jinx it, but we don't have issues like that. We're very, very strict on monitoring our CCTV in the evening, because obviously other gyms have issues where people tailgate in and come into people on one key fob. We have a very smart CCTV system that captures anyone that comes in with it, and we can contact the member, find out what's going on. And so, yeah, we have an extremely low incidences of anything like that.
That's interesting. We were talking about how to choose a gym, and I would have thought that one of the ways of doing that is looking at member retention. So do you find that people who join your gym tend to stay a long time, or people come along maybe on the 1st of January for New Year's resolution and then give up after a couple of weeks?
You know, one of the things we are most proud of is our change in retention. Our retention is far higher than most 24-hour gyms. Even we can see the statistics for all the other Anytime Fitnesses. We are far higher. We are one of the highest performing retention gyms. But that is solely because of our focus we put on our members. We invest more money in our staff, so we have more staff, we pay more staff to ensure that our members are catered for, make sure that they're achieving their goals, and to make sure if a member ever has an issue, this piece of equipment's broken, I have a target of 24 hours to have that rectified. If it's possible to be rectified, there's no other gym around that has a turnaround equipment. If you walk in our gym, I guarantee you will not find a piece of broken equipment.
That's a nice boast to make, especially from one that is unmanned overnight. You still maintain the equipment to such a high standard, it's always working.
Exactly.
Absolutely. We've just had an email in from one of our listeners, Erica in Bourne End. Erica, good morning. Thank you very much for listening. Erica's asking about should she be doing weight training as a woman? She does cycling and running, but not weight training. So I think it's a more general question. People would not perceive weight training as an automatic thing for women to do. I think it's a bloke's thing. So, but I suspect you have a view on that, which is that that's not the right way to think about it.
Yes, it's in fact the opposite way about it. So the most common thing I have that women will come to me and say is I want to tone up. I don't want to get muscly, especially because I'm quite a big guy. People say I don't want to look like you. It's all right, you're not going to look like me, it's fine.
That's not very complimentary, is it?
Exactly.
Oh, nice to meet you, I don't want to look like you.
Well, I've had that quite a few times. People walk up to me and they're like, yeah, well, you know, I just don't want to look like you. So I'm not really sure how to take that, but yeah, thank you.
It's the beard, mate, it's the beard.
Yeah, it's the beard. But yeah, basically, everyone wants to tone up, and to have a level of body tone, you need to have a level of body muscle underneath it. People see muscle as this scary thing when you think of the bodybuilding. All the bodybuilding era out there, there's a lot of kind of misconception of that. Everybody should lift weights. Everybody should do it. It provides extra bone density. It provides extra strength. It increases your metabolism. It increases everything. So, Erica, what I would suggest is, do you know what? Call up Anytime Fitness Loudwater or send an email in. You're more than welcome to pop down and try us free for a day, and we can do you an induction just so you can see what weights are like. And that's an open offer to anybody. We're more than happy to show people, you know what you can achieve and what you can do. And you can do anything that anyone can do. It's not, we don't have a single sex thing in anything in the fitness industry. Women are as good, if not better, at a lot of things than men. For example, squatting. My hips are terrible because women have a completely different pelvis. It's how we're built completely differently, and it actually enables women to squat a lot better and to get into a better deadlift position. So realistically, you should be doing these things. It's just society has dictated that maybe it wasn't the right thing. But we live in a completely different society now, and yeah, grasp that opportunity and don't be afraid to go and do it and try everything that everyone else is doing.
And Erica lives in Bourne End, so for your kind offer for her to come down and see the gym, it's only about 10 minutes drive from you, isn't it, Bourne End?
10 minutes if you're driving slowly. So, yeah, no, it's really, really close. 24 hours, obviously. If you want us to go through some things, it'd have to be within working hours. But like I said, we've got weekends, we've got some evenings, so we're more than happy to go through some stuff. And when people join up, we can do a little plan for people so people don't go in there and not know what to do. They can follow stuff. So we have specific people that will do that for you.
Right. Do you ever have people come into you, maybe people who have slightly more mature years than you, and it may be even as mature as mine, can say to you, oh, it's all for young people, the gym, it's not really people for middle age and beyond?
We've got members in their 80s now, and honestly, we've got more than a handful of members in their 80s, and they could run me under the table. They are so fit, it's unbelievable now. And they're just, everyone we have, we're quite blessed in where we are. We have the nicest members, the nicest people. The staff are great, everyone. It's a really different environment to a lot of gyms out there. But you have to try out a few gyms, try out, and then you end up coming back to us anyway. But it's, the older generation are out there doing things that people didn't realise. And you know what? It slows down the ageing process so much. It's unbelievable the difference you see in people. And they'll come in and say, you know what, this has changed my life. We were at different gyms and you have to find something called groupness. And it's a term for being together with people. And that's what we operate with our classes. And that's why we created an over 50s class. We are quite lucky. We have an over 50s instructor who's very, very good at it as well. And she loves the class and she encourages it and she pushes people, but knows their limits and understands things. So everything's in such a great capacity that it creates everyone to flourish.
And that's a perfect way of approaching it as well.
Yeah, exactly. We want everyone to feel like they're enjoying it. So it's unbelievable. Our over 50s probably attend the gym on average as much as anybody else now, and even over 70s. When I go in on the weekend, I'm surprised how many people are there on the weekends that I've seen all week as well. And it's unbelievable. And those are people that have come from going once a week and they didn't really know what to do, and they're there because they love it. Not necessarily because of the fitness element, but because they love being there and they love the surroundings, they love the people.
That's fascinating to hear. One of the questions just come in from Mark, who's in High Wycombe, saying, "I don't live near Loudwater." Well, you're not that far away in High Wycombe. There is Anytime's Fitness in High Wycombe, I think, although I've never been there.
There is. All Anytime Fitnesses are independent franchises. So they are, although they have the same brand internally, they might look the same, but they're run very, very differently. Like I said, the owner of ours has a very specific direction what he wants to take, and he believes very much in a person approach,
a client-centered approach.
Exactly, and it's about making clients. That's where all the investment is in making clients happy, and make sure that people are achieving their goals. So, do you know what? Go to any. If you're not in our local vicinity, if it's really that far out of your way, go to any fitness facility. But make sure you feel good. There's a lot of options out there, and that's why we try to be better than everyone else, because there are a lot of options there. So when people come and they stay, we know we're doing a good job.
Do you know, I reckon people make up their mind about joining various things, like choosing a pub or a restaurant, but definitely joining something like a club or a gym. I think people make their mind up within about the first 10 seconds of walking through the door, probably even before they've spoken to anybody.
Oh, definitely. As soon as you're walking up, if somebody opens the door and greets you and says, hello, good afternoon, how are you? Not just opens the door and kind of ushers you in. And it makes such a big difference. We believe in, I treat everybody how I wish to be treated, and everyone has a laugh, they have a joke. If I see someone walking towards the door, I always hold the door open, make a laugh and a joke out of it. It's never, we want everybody to be, like I said, everyone's in a quest for happiness, and that's what we want to provide.
Great. So let's look at the other side of the work you do. So when you're not being the fitness centre manager there, you're a personal trainer there as well. And you're a very modest man, because you haven't mentioned it yet, is you've just won quite a prestigious award for your personal training, haven't you?
Yeah, so I won an award for PT of the Year for the Greater London area for the UK Fitness Awards, which was incredible. The people there were incredible. It's run by, the CEO of it is a guy called Adam Kiani, and what he does is he actually runs PT Academy, which is a personal trainer provider. And what that does is he's kind of re-standardizing the fitness industry. And the awards were to recognize everybody. I didn't train through PT Academy. I have no affiliation with anything of that. So to receive an award for that was incredible. You'd think that it'd be quite biased, but it wasn't. There was no bias. It was just to recognise the professionals in the industry that care about people. They want to do something slightly different to make sure that people are happy and achieving things. And yeah, it really is incredible. There was a lot of big names there. There was Ant Middleton won an award. We've got Mikhail Wright won an award. There's loads of people. We've got people from London, Scotland, everywhere. It was a great evening.
Right, I've got a question in for you, Rob, from Dana Maria Saw. Dana, thanks so much for getting in touch. An interesting question. Dana says she actually visited your gym, Anytime Fitness in Loudwater. She visited a few years ago. She was planning to join, but the loud music put her off. In fact, within 15 minutes of arriving, she says it gave her a headache. And it's not really quite the calm headspace that you talked about earlier on. So what is the current situation on a music policy?
Do you know, I'm quite glad that somebody brought up something from previous years, because it gives me a chance to say how we've developed. So a couple of years ago, the owner brought in myself and my colleague, who's the sales manager, Jackie, to kind of give everything a new, fresh lease of life almost, in terms of that. The first thing we did was turn the music down a little bit, change the music so that it's not all, it's a lot more inclusive of everybody. So what I would genuinely suggest, because that would have been, I only joined 2 years ago, so that would have been before my time. So what I would genuinely suggest is please come down and see us again. If the music is too loud, I will make sure it's turned down a little bit, but it won't be. I can assure you that. But yeah, please come down just so that you can hear it again and see it, because it really is a different environment. We've definitely tried to make it more inclusive for everybody and make it a gym that everyone can be proud of, and is that headspace now, and people can get away from, and that you don't hear droning music all day like a lot of gyms, because I'm there all day and it drives me mental if there's droning music. So that goes straight off any playlist. So yeah, we want to make sure that we can rectify any issues from the past. So anybody who did ever visit us more than 2 years ago, please come down again, because we're a very, very different environment. Not that it was a bad environment. It's always been a gym that's been run very, very well. But we're just better. Like anything, you always want to get better. If you're not progressing in something, then something's definitely wrong.
Yeah, that's good advice. So, Dana, I hope you take Rob up on that offer and go and retry it and see if the music is now a little bit more to your taste and a little bit more to your preference on volume. So we've been talking about exercise and fitness a lot, but fitness itself is composed of really two elements. I mean, as well as the movement side, there's what you eat and drink as well, and you need to get them both in balance to make some decent progress. But with fitness, there's always talk about supplements, and you need to buy supplements to progress. Do you actually need to buy special things to help make progress in the gym, or can you just get better just through training and eating more regular food?
Do you know what? There's a lot of different kind of facets to that. Training and regular food, definitely. That is the base of everything. That is exactly what you want to start off doing. Supplements are good when you want to progress a little bit more. If you're lacking a little bit of energy, or you just can't make up all your food with solid food. Probably worth noting, I'm not sponsored by any companies or affiliated, so if I do mention stuff, it is purely my own preference, and I'm not actually paid to do it, so I actually like the products. So protein-wise, protein after a workout, great. Your muscles are damaged from training, damaged in a good way though, and they need to repair, so a bit of additional protein on top. You can do it with chicken if you want, fish, any sort of protein source, but a protein shake can be nice and easy if you're going out to work or if you haven't got a lot of time that day. That's my main one. Another one I take is pre-workout, because before I train, I'm tired. So there is a pre-workout. It's called Venom, and that's that. Yeah. So it sounds quite harsh. It's got a lot of stimulants in it, but it gives you a big caffeine hit. So imagine having a few coffees before you train. And yeah, the guy who does that is an independent guy, so that's why I buy it from him, because it's not a massive chain. It's just a guy who's making a supplement company for himself. But it's very important to have good ones and to, you know what, you don't have to overuse things. You can add things in. There's lots of health supplements, like there's curcumin, which is turmeric, but with black pepper. Omega-3s. Everyone should have omega-3s. If you have joint pains, if you have bad cholesterol, if you don't feel that great, take some max strength omega-3s, not fish oil.
That's fatty acids, yeah.
Fatty acids. So not the fish oil, not cod liver oil, omega-3 oil. I guarantee, do you know what? You'll call me up in a week's time and say, thank you, my joints feel better. So that is my top tip.
Right, okay. And as you say, you're not particularly paid to say any of those things, so it's just your own experience. Exactly.
Everything I say is my own experience. Everything, even the stuff in regards to Anytime Fitness Loudwater, I'm not even here in a capacity for them. But it's just, you know what? What's good for you is good for you. I always encourage people to come down. That's why I say to people, don't come down to join, come down to try us. Try us for a day. You don't have an obligation to do anything. When people come in, they want a membership, I don't sell them a membership straight away. I'm like, okay, right, have a 3-day pass, see how you feel here, see if you like it here. And most people do join up, but the people who don't, they're the people that you don't want to make them join up to something they don't want to do.
Yeah, I mean, I always think with a gym, eventually you get to a certain point where you really start enjoying it, rather than feeling you're doing it because you have to. You're doing it because you want to do it, and that's a great magic moment that I see myself.
Exactly, and once you get all of that, and you feel happier, you feel like you're progressing with everything. If you ever want to push it further, you start going into personal training and stuff, and getting a personal trainer. But make sure you get the right personal trainer. Like I touched on earlier, you want to make sure you get someone who's passionate, knowledgeable. Speak to their previous clients. Look at I'm not saying social media is the be all and end all. Have a look on their social media, see their results and stuff. Like I said about, we spoke earlier about the fitness awards and PT Academy. The reason some of that stuff came about is because the industry standard of personal training was dropping very, very fast. So after the awards, I spoke to Adam and said, what is different in what you're doing? And basically what he said was he's changing how the industry is standardized. And I've looked through all of the paperwork, and it's incredible the difference between what some of the stuff I've seen and the stuff that's being provided by places like PT Academy is unbelievable. But what you need to make sure you're doing is you don't just, because someone's a personal trainer doesn't mean they're a good personal trainer. Just because it's the same as any walk of life, you can go into a shop and just because you buy a piece of chicken, it's not a good piece of chicken. There's so many different variables about it, and make sure that you get someone who cares about you. Every single one of my clients I care about. It's not a case of I care that I want them to look good, I want them to have results. I want to get the best out of them in any aspect of their lives. I've got a client who, he makes great progress, but I boosted his business by tens and tens of thousands of pounds a year through my contacts and my advice. That is what you call, well, I am a very small investment for him, but that is what you want. You want all your areas of life to improve, not just one.
Right. Great advice, Rob. Great advice. And I've got a bit of news for you as well. Dana's been back in touch saying thank you, Rob, for answering her question about the music. She appreciates your comments and she will indeed come and see you and visit out and check out the gym again soon. So, as you're one of the nearby gyms to where she is.
Excellent.
So she's definitely on the way back.
That's great news. It's always best if somebody feels like there's been a slight wrong. It's always best to write them, and that's why I wanted. We could have just not broached that question, but I wanted to make sure we did it to be real and to be authentic. So we look forward to seeing you, and hopefully we can get you in and get you a program and get you started.
Before we go, sir, give us the details of how to find you in the gym and how to find you online.
So, the easiest way to find us online is to look up Anytime Fitness Loudwater. It'll come straight up with us. We are located just off of Boundary Road by Homebase. And yeah, it's very, very easy to get to from all of the surrounding areas. And so to get me in the gym, I'm in there most days, Monday to Friday. You'll find me training on Saturdays and Sundays. More than happy to talk to people when they come in. But yeah, just come down and visit us. Give us a call. Check us out online. As soon as you Google us, we'll be the first thing that pops up. And yeah, book in and see us.
And as you say, the gym's open 24 hours a day, but obviously it makes sense for somebody to come and visit you during the staffed hours.
Exactly. Come down and visit us in the staffed hours. Always give us a call first just to make sure we can get you in. We always want to block out a little bit of time so we can spend a bit of time with people. We don't want to have overlapping people so that people don't feel like that we're 100% interested in them if someone's already booked in. So give us a call, book in. We can sort everything out. And just remember, you're not there just to look better. You're there to feel better. You're there for your mental space. You're there for your emotional space. You're there to feel better in every element of your life. It's about the complete approach to it and not just one direction.
You're listening to Mid Morning Matters on MarlowFM 97.5.